Sources tonight are Democratic Congressman from New York, Tom Suozzi, and Republican Congressman of Pennsylvania, Brian Fitzpatrick. And it's great to have you both here. I'll start with you, Congressman Suozzi. What did you make of Speaker Johnson's view of this as a well-executed plan and being able to read through this?
Well, he's diverting from the topic here. I mean, the military mission turned out to be successful, but this conversation that took place on Signal that was a non-classified environment was a major screw-up.
Yeah, and do you believe that this warrants a congressional investigation?
Well, it will. So I'm on the Committee of Jurisdiction, House Intelligence Committee. Very limited on what I can share at this point, other than there will be an interrogatory that goes out to ODNI to make sure that we have a 360-degree view of the facts directly from the source. We'll have our oversight hearings in a SCIF. We'll do our work in private, as our Intelligence Committee always does. And share what we can if and when that warrants.
So that means there is going to be an investigation, and in plain English.
I would presume. I mean, it's all going to depend on. We do have an inquiry out, or it will be going out in short order to ODNI. They're the source of the information that we'll gather about this.
Okay, and I know you're limited on what you can say, but if it goes out to Director Tulsi Gabbard here, who was on that group chat. Does that mean other people will also be interviewed, since it was 18 officials or so who were on this message, or is it too early to say?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the interrogatory comes back, that's when the committee will make a determination in a bipartisan fashion on how to proceed. And if the interrogatory comes back that hearings are warranted, which they may very well be, we bring the witnesses in, we agree on who those witnesses should be, we gather the facts in a SCIF outside of the view of a camera, gather the facts, and then figure out the next steps.
And Senator Wicker has also talked about doing something in the Senate as well.
And a SCIF, just to be clear, is typically where they would discuss things like what was discussed on this group chat. It's a sensitive room where you can have these conversations freely. What would you like to see as a result of an investigation if a full-fledged one is warranted here?
I think that an investigation is what's warranted here to get to the bottom of the facts, but it's just obvious from everything we know already, even common sense says this was a major screw-up, and somebody should be held accountable. Now, who that is, the investigation will help reveal that.
Yeah, and Senator Roger Wicker did comment on this tonight. Obviously, he was one of the lead advocates and really helped with the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth getting confirmed here. One question that was raised by Pete Buttigieg earlier today, a fellow Democrat of yours, was whether or not this could be happening in other instances. Do you have similar concerns about that? Well,
my concern is a lot of the recklessness that we've seen the administration, the way they conduct themselves in a lot of different ways. I mean, there's a lot of sensitive information that's being shared. We hear about the stuff with DOJ and people's Social Security information. We hear about this today. There's a lot of things that are kind of loosey-goosey in this administration. So this is serious stuff. It's life and death stuff, and it's got to be taken seriously.
Well, and I just think we've had so many conversations about classified documents, conversations lately, ever since the classified documents investigation with not only President Trump, but also with President Biden as well. And when the Biden investigation happened, they were found in an unsecure location. You said classified documents can never be taken out of a SCIF ever. No one is claiming it's okay, certainly I'm not, that it's okay to have classified information anywhere outside of a SCIF. So I would imagine this has prompted some concerns with even in the Republican Party on Capitol Hill.
In terms of classified information, well, that's all got to be determined, right? That's why you have investigations. That's why we don't jump ahead of the facts. Right now, it's all news reporting, right? So we want to hear directly from ODNI, and we will proceed in a very responsible manner, I can assure you that.
And NSC obviously did not deny the veracity of this, but you do expect that the Director of National Intelligence will comply with whatever you send.
Absolutely. Yep.
Republican Senator Murkowski said it very plainly. She said, what would we be saying if this was the Biden administration? It would be hair on fire. So, I mean, this is kind of one of those things. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. There's going to be a lot of details. But just straightforward looking at it, this is a major screw-up of class. What are the Chinese saying right now? What are our European allies saying? How do they feel about sharing intelligence data with us when people are acting in this cavalier way on very sensitive topics? So this is, it's a pretty straightforward thing it's wrong.
How quickly would you expect something like that would progress and the interrogatory that you said you sent?
Well, I think it'll go out soon, if it's not out already. That's a question for the chairman of intelligence. It will go out. It will go out soon. I'm sure they want to round out the questions. They want to give a short timeline for a response. And then the committee's going to do its work.
Okay, so that'll look like a questionnaire, essentially, that goes to them.
I would assume so.
Okay.
I would assume so.
All right, well, please keep us updated on how that progresses. I know you can only say so much. It's great to have you both. I really enjoyed this segment with the two of you. We'll talk about more matters in the future. Thank you both, Congressman Suozzi and